Actually, I kind of like the people in the background too. Hello, this is Alan Shipnuck back for the final daily Ask Alan of a very long US Open week. Thanks for all the great questions. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to it. Is Matty Fitzpatrick the first major champion with braces and or wearing Skechers? Yes to both. I think it reflects that he's a youthful, free spirit. The hardcore traditionalist is not going for Skechers, but it kind of suits him. I loved how goofy and giddy he was in his press conference after the victory. It's who he is. He's just a fun-loving, kind of sweet kid. So somehow the Skechers work. Alan, is that the best ball striking round you have ever seen in person? Well, I was lucky to cover Tiger Woods at the turn of the century, so that's a hard no, but I mean, 17 greens in regulation is pretty spectacular on a very tough course. Now, a little rain softened, yes, but under the gun, playing the last group, 17 GNR, A+ ball striking by Matt Fitzpatrick. Is Rory's high, winning majors by 8 shots, to his barren run, 8 years, while he was fit and in his prime, the most unexplainable and enduring collapse in golf? Well, no, there's been plenty of guys who just flat out disappeared. The David Duvals, the Ian Baker Finches. Those are absolute collapses. I mean, in this majorless streak for Rory, he's been winning tournaments, he's won the Players, he's won the Race to Dubai, he's won a FedEx Cup, but it makes it all the more inexplicable that he can't deliver at these tournaments because he's been so good week to week. But as we all know, the major championships are the most exacting test. Any flaws you have in your game shall be revealed. What was interesting is Rory scrambled beautifully this week, and his putting was A+. So he was hitting these quick hooks off the tee. That's very un-Rory-like. It's just like he can't quite put it together. The weeks when he's hitting it great, the putter's not there, or the full swing wedges let him down. It's just that, he has the physical tools. We know that. There's a stumbling block. There's a mental thing. There's stage fright. I don't know what it is, but yes, it is inexplicable. Do you think journalists like Dan Rapaport should openly cheer when someone misses a putt to lose by a shot? And why is the answer absolutely not? Well, it's a special circumstance because Rap was college buddies with Matt Fitzpatrick at Northwestern, and they go way back. And he's kind of been open that he doesn't treat him as a regular player, that they are friends, and they have this special bond. So I thought it was kind of cute. It'll certainly inform the Golf Digest coverage. And I give Rapaport a pass because they go so far back. Now, in general, I agree reporters are meant to be unbiased observers, but we all cheer, it's usually for our story, not an actual human being. I was rooting for a playoff. That would have been a great story, and a 3-way playoff would have been amazing. So while I wasn't doing jumping jacks next to the green, we're all humans. We all have our rooting interests. Mine tend to be more professional than personal, but I see your point, but I'm going to give Rapaport a pass. Was this a joke? We need Mike Davis back. Embarrassing for the National Open. Thoughts? #NotMyOpen. Well, I agree that the USGA should have pushed the course a little harder on Friday and Saturday. It was tough, but it was not brutal. And I think both of us want brutality. Now, it certainly would have played harder on Sunday than any other day of the week, but there was a good rainstorm that blew through Brookline this morning. And what can you do? That's Mother Nature. That's an outdoor sport. So you just have to take what comes. The softer greens actually made it kind of fun in that it was a back nine shootout. We rarely get that at the US Open. It's usually a war of attrition, and people lose the Open. They don't win it. But Fitzpatrick went out there and grabbed that trophy. So I agree. I like a little bit more of a exacting test, but when it rains, you just got to take what they give you. Predict Scottie Scheffler's next 5 years. 5 more majors? He's in the mix every time. 5 more majors would give him 6 total at the age of 31. That is a monumental number. That's more than Lord Byron Nelson. That's more than Seve. That'll be the same as gods like Mickelson and Nick Faldo. So that is a humongous ask, but it is impressive how he keeps putting himself in position time after time. And even like yesterday, he got off to a hot start, got kicked in the teeth, but just kept coming. Final round was kind of similar. Like, he has a unique ability just to brush off the bad shots and the tough breaks. And I was talking to Jordan Spieth afterwards, and he's like, yeah, he's got this quiet confidence. It's scary. He's like, it's frightening. And, the players can feel it. And obviously, Scheffler, he's got the game, but more importantly, he's got the mentality. And clearly he's going to be there. Now, can he pick off 5? That is a heroic ask. Has WillieZ immediately vaulted himself to the status of best player never to have won a major? He has plenty of scar tissue at this point. Right, that's one of the keys. You can't get that dread title until you've lost at least a couple majors. And clearly he has now. And it's also, you got old dogs like Westwood and Poulter. They don't count. You have to be ascendant. So yes, at this moment, Will Zalatoris is the best player never to have won a major. Good news, bad news title. When do you think a live golfer will win a major, and do you think it will be important when that happens? Of course, a player winning a major is a big deal. Now that we're sort of taking sides and people are wearing different jerseys, it adds an extra layer of intrigue. But I don't think anyone was really thinking about that on the final few holes today. It was just great golf by some of the best players in the world. That's what it's all about. If you subbed in Dustin Johnson, it would have been just as exciting. I don't think anyone really cares in the context of the majors which team these guys are playing for. And this schism between the tours has made the majors that much more important. Might be the only 4 times all year now that all the best players are there. So I think that majors have been elevated. When we get to those weeks, I'm not sure anybody's going to care, but it's certainly a talking point the other 48 weeks a year. Is Koepka done? And who has more upside, Koepka or Spieth? There was a point today, they flashed on the screen, Koepka was leading the tournament in strokes gained putting, and he was +8 and nowhere near the lead. He just can't hit it anymore. I mean, the guy's broken his body over and over. So will he get healthy? Will he fix the compensating moves in his swing? I mean, it's hard to imagine he's done. He's still a youngish guy, but he's put a lot of wear and tear on his joints and his tendons, and that's what that was the undoing of Tiger Woods. Golfers are not used to that kind of stress. And Spieth has the perfect golf body. He's kind of lean and sinewy and supple. So, I think if Koepka wants to have a long career, he should lose 20 pounds. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm definitely going Spieth. He's not only has he stayed healthy, he's got so much grit and grind, and he wants it week after week, which is always a question with Koepka. Should Brookline be a part of the rotation of traditional venues? Obviously, this was an incredible week. The golf course looked beautiful on TV. Created a terrific test. A+ leaderboard. It's a shame they haven't been here in 40 years, and it might be another 40 until they come back. It's a tight little bandbox of a course. They can't get the same amount of corporate tents. They can't get as many fans. Parking's a nightmare. So there are some structural issues, but these are solvable, or the USGA just has to say every 10 years, we're not going to make as much money. That's okay. This course is so good. The atmosphere was so much fun. They have to come back. I agree with that. Zalatoris had the putter going today and hit a great pressure-packed putt on 18 that just didn't drop. The guy knows how to compete in majors. Can we collectively finally put that he can't putt narrative to bed? Well, clearly you can't do what he's been doing if you're not making some putts. But I did ask Colin Morikawa today, pro to pro, when I did ask Colin Morikawa today, pro to pro, when you're watching Zalatoris putt, what emotions that instill in you? And he said, I pray for him. So it's an actual thing. We could see that putter flopping around, but he makes just enough to always be there. You got to give the guy credit. All right, last question of the last Ask Alan. What were your favorite moments from this year's US Open and why? You know what? It was being out here on 18 when it was all hanging in the balance, and they let the fans come out into the fairway, and the balcony was packed. It was an incredible amphitheater and arena, and it just reminded you how big these moments are and how precious they are. And to have Matt Fitzpatrick hit essentially, the best shot of the year and one of the best shots ever on the final hole of the US Open, it just put such an incredible exclamation point. And the crowd went nuts, and you could just feel that energy, you could feel that passion and the larger meaning of these tournaments. So I had a lot of fun spectating. There's so many cool holes out here. The Boston crowd was great. I got dapped up, go fire pit, go, all that was fun, but it was the very last hole. It was just a special feeling, and I feel privileged to have been there. So this is it. We did it. Thanks for sticking with this. It was an experiment. Hopefully you weren't bored to tears. We may throttle back. Maybe we'll go all in on these Ask Allens, but anyway, this is the last one from Brookline. I'm Alan Shipnuck. This is the Fire Pit Collective, and thanks for being a part of these.